The mission today is to sharpen your swords and get you ready for battle. It's time to fine-tune your craft and make you the best in what you do. The mission is to equip you to help anyone purchase what they need. We'll share the best advice from the best in their industry. You'll be listening to a conversation you wish you had with the mentors you wish you had. Take what makes sense to you and makes you better in your career. You guys, Bruce Lee said it best. Absorb what is useful and discard what is not.
Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the Commission Mission. Today I have Alana Moodie, an amazing manager that's helped many salespeople go from a completely different industry, working the miserable 9-to-5 life that was not meant for them, and getting into commission sales that help them reach the life that they really wanted, that gave them the more money, the more time that they really wanted to live their ideal life. Alana, I appreciate you coming out and sitting with me.
Thanks for having me, Micah.
So Alana, after almost 10 years managing, and before that you were in sales yourself, before that you were financial advising, what do you prefer more? Did you like your own production or did you like the managing part of it?
That is a difficult question. I would say I like the managing more.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. I do miss the individual sales part of it.
There's some way you can work it where there's going to be both. So when helping somebody start, let's say, start in sales from working in a restaurant, mm-hmm. right? What's step number one for them to get their mind in the right place, that business isn't just going to be coming to them, sitting down at their table, and they do the transaction and then on to the next. How do you get them in the right mindset?
Well, first they have to get themselves in the right mindset, mm-hmm. and make the decision for themselves. And really, I think the agents I've helped over the years, it's really a deciding factor on what's best for their personal career and for their work-life balance. A lot of agents decide to do this to have that work-life balance and also make a nice living and be able to provide for their family. Yeah,
and I know that we could talk about time management in a second, but because of time management, you are efficient and effective even just with conversations that you have with people. So I can picture you having the conversation with somebody now being sort of blunt about it, because it's important. Let's not waste time and mince mm-hmm. words. Is this the right thing for you? Only the individual can answer that for themselves, do some soul searching. But it is for them. They are self-motivated. Mm-hmm. They don't need to be babysat, told when to wake up, and everything else. They are a driven person. What's next?
Well, putting together a game plan. Mm-hmm. I'm a sports person, and sitting down just to ask them, what's important to them, and ask them why they want to do this. Because the point is, if you're not having fun, then it's going to be a job. And it's going to suck. You're
going to be miserable. Then you're going to have to ask them, listen, you can either leave now or I'm going to have to fire you in a week.
Yes, and I'd hate to have to do that.
And sports is a great way to use analogies. Mm-hmm. I'll always use the one where if I'm talking to a client or even just a new prospect, there's an end goal in mind. That's the end zone. What can I do to move the chains a little bit further down the field, a little bit more progress, so that at the end we can score that touchdown. So sports is a great all kinds of great analogies for sales. So is there a certain personality trait that you look at when you're interviewing somebody to start in sales and they're coming from a completely different industry? Are there certain key buzzwords they use or something that they say, just personality traits that you look for that's going to tell you that they're going to be successful?
So what I would look for, and I've looked for in the past, is someone that's relatable, someone that is very conversational and can build a relationship. I like to meet food service industry, mm-hmm. And I've met several people, eating at a restaurant, and then they ask me, what do you do? Actually, recently I hosted a luncheon at Grand Marlin in Pensacola, mm-hmm. and the server actually asked me, what do you do? And I was telling her I was hosting a little luncheon, And she sent me her resume, and I'm trying to get her in the industry as well.
Very cool. Yeah, there is in a lot of industries there are that like top 10% that don't need their handheld, that do show up on time, looking the way they're supposed to, doing their job well. That I feel like it's wasted on the 9 to 5 that type of lifestyle that they could be doing so much more if they knew the opportunity was out there. Yeah, you have that feeling when you have that server that is, refilling before you ask, that brings stuff out that, that maybe reads back the order so you know that you got it right. And you're like, man, that could be an all-star.
I don't know if you've had this experience, but, you go to a restaurant and that's that server that you're having they either know you're having a business lunch, a family lunch, and they come and interrupt you right when you're having this nice conversation with someone. It could be a date. It could be, a lunch with a colleague. Yeah. And they come and they kind of interrupt because they're not aware of, their surroundings and what's going on. That's the person I would not even try to talk to. Yeah. The one's that intuitive that knows, hey, they look like they're going to be a while, or maybe, they're obviously done talking. Good time to place the order or refill their drinks. Yeah. That's what I'm looking for. And then someone that can go out of the way to relate to me. Hey, have you been here before? Yeah. What do you enjoy the most about our restaurant? Thank you for bringing your colleague. Or, hey, I recognize you because you come here all the time. Because this is my favorite restaurant that I take my clients to or my agents to. They would do great in sales. Yes. Not the one asking if they want to refill on water right when the presentation's halfway through. Definitely being self-aware, because that's going to translate to building better relationships out in the field, or whether you visit someone at home or they come see you in the office. If it's awkward, they're not going to want to come back and see you. So when it comes to, I'm just thinking about the whole sales process and either prospecting or marketing. How do you get somebody to start prospecting for themselves and finding different innovative ways to getting somebody to sit across the table and just listen to what you have to say? 'Cause, I feel like that's half of it. Well, first thing, you have to believe in what you do. Mm-hmm. If you do not believe in the product or the service you're offering, there's no point. So that's the first thing. Second thing is really making sure that you are reaching, number one, your circle of influence, so your family, friends, colleagues, previous colleagues, and then also what you're passionate about. So, for example, if you passionate about health and well-being and you're a fitness person and you want to help, our community lose weight or get off diabetes medication, or maybe you want to help the homeless or food pantries, something that connects to you and that's a passion for you. Once you accept that, then what you're going to be doing will be rewarding, and the financial aspect will come. It will come. If you work hard and do right by people, it's going to come. So, once you've found the person that is willing to sit down across the table from you, hear what you have to say, one bit of advice I would give from my own experience is to slow down. Okay. That when I first started, I was just trying to, get it over with, right? And just spit out my whole spiel, tell them why it makes sense to this solves their problem, get the signature, get the voided check, whatever that is, and go. And in doing that, I'd make mistakes. And I think I would lose a lot of that, rapport and trust and comfort that I've worked hard to build. I don't know, from sitting in on meetings with newer agents, some common mistakes and ways to get around it. I would say the biggest mistake, and you mentioned this, is not taking the time to build that rapport and that trust. And it could be a 30-minute process, finding a way to connect with them, whether it's sports or family connection or the community. Once they do that, the agents fail to do a thorough needs analysis, and you end up product dumping versus selling based on what their needs are. A solution, right? Correct. So I tell the agents, and previous sales experience, when you product dump someone, basically, here's all the features of all the product that I'm selling, but you're not applying it as a benefit. What's in it for them? Right. And if you don't do that, then you're really you've lost the sale because you're not finding what's important to them.
And then even if you still somehow got the sale, you're not differentiating yourself from anybody they talk to on the phone. You're losing that advantage of the face-to-face meeting where you can really build that rapport and have a lifelong client that rather than a customer for the next couple seconds. One advantage in building rapport and face-to-face sales in someone's home, which not a lot of industries really do that anymore, but you can stop and you can see those family pictures. You could see that sports team on the wall, the boat in the yard. What is maybe a good question to ask when meeting somebody in an office that would get them to start really talking about something that they love, personally?
Well, going back to being in their home, I want to remind you that when you're in their home and you're taking the time to learn more about them, it's important to make sure that they connect with you. And I used to challenge my agents. So, most agents can get the sale. If you're representing a good product, good service, you're going to close the sale.
Sells itself.
I challenge the agents to say a great agent will get the referrals. And that's where a lot of agents don't take advantage of growing their book of business from their existing referrals.
And that's exactly where I was going with that, staying relevant, right?
We've talked about that.
Yeah, that's right. And especially in the insurance biz, that you want to be the one that they think of when they hear that word of that product or that service that you do. What's some good ways, some good common practices, the first week, first month, the 3 months after the sale or?
Well, let me go back to the other question. So let's say you're in your office and this is your territory. And I see that sales goes both ways. So it's not about just the prospects' family life or what's hanging on their walls or what their hobbies are. It's yourself as well. So my office, when I used to have an office, I would have, my alma mater's pictures up, which is my sports team, my family pictures. So then if you're intuitive about me,
that's right.
I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a graduate of this school. I enjoy plants and gardening.
Yeah,
and
that's good.
Like that.
And they can start the conversation.
They start the conversation. And the relevancy behind that is because when it comes to sales, in order to get the referrals, if you think about it, when you're sitting down with someone, and let's say you're sitting with your neighbor and you're looking for a new fence guy to put a fence in for you, they're most likely to refer someone that they have a personal connection with, because they're going to say, you know what? Alena's business, she's got those 2 little girls, and I know they're getting started with their business, and I know she's doing well, and she did a great job for me, and she provided a great quote, and she's come back to fix something that was off, whereas somebody that was just a business, and there was no personal connection.
All right.
So connection for the person selling and the person buying the product goes both ways.
Yeah.
Because it creates that relationship, which keeps you relevant.
That's right. And, once you've dropped off of their existence, they're not going to think of you. So while you are maintaining that relationship, I mean, do you ever do, business card, not business cards, birthday cards?
Absolutely.
What else? Christmas?
Well, not just the generic birthdays, Christmas cards, but what applies to them. If they're a veteran.
Yeah.
A Veterans Day card.
That's good.
If they, I'm Asian, so I've had people reach out to me and say, hey, for Asian Pacific Islander month, I went to a Thai restaurant or I went to a Vietnamese restaurant and I tried this. What would you recommend?
Yeah.
So it's nice to connect with someone.
Very personalized.
Very personalized, yes, absolutely. But I would say with technology and social media, and we all know that, I don't know about you, but we get solicitors that call us all day long, right? Robo-dials that beep and then to hang up. I'm busy, you're busy, I don't really take time to take those calls, right? So I tell my agents, when you do make a sale and you have the ability to be face-to-face with them, one of the tips I would recommend is asking that person, hey, can we take a selfie together? Sure, let's do that.
Yeah.
Well, what for? I said, well, let's take the picture, snap both of us, and then ask their permission, can I save this to your phone? And then you save your phone number with your picture, with that person. So when you call, that picture pops up.
Yeah.
So they're going to have that facial recognition and know
Right.
that, hey, that's Micah calling me. He's such a sweet guy. He's calling for something. He's going to help
checking on me somehow.
He's not just some random number.
Right.
So not only do you have the name to the phone number, but you have a picture that will pop up.
That is good. And even further expanding the idea of personalization, like if you were prospecting, sending out a generic mass email, man, that gets overlooked. That gets tossed out. People know when they say, "Hey, valued customer," or "Hey, local neighbor." It just gets overlooked.
Correct.
It does not strike any chord. It doesn't make you want to open that email or open that letter. But if it really is specialized to you, saying, hey, we met a couple months ago. You said you weren't interested at the time. I was just following up, seeing if anything changed in your life. I hope everything went well on that vacation. But I'm here just following up with you. That is something that someone wants to reply to. I would love to see a study of the conversion rates of 10,000 blanket emails and 10,000 personal emails. And yes, the personal emails take more time, but is it worth the conversion rate? Yeah.
Who knows? Another piece of advice, with technology nowadays is to do a personalized video, introduction video.
Yep.
So I use VidArt and I do an introduction video.
Yeah.
And I'll send the link to the person so that way they have a face to name.
Yep.
And, you can make it as funny as you want or as professional as you like.
That's right.
And sometimes they'll actually like the app and create their own introduction video and send it back to me. So
that's good. Cool. That's good. The power of video is something that needs to get used more and more, especially as technology it keeps on expanding. But at the same time, a written personalized letter, especially if you're working with a senior crowd with either retirement or Medicare, that's something that they still will appreciate you taking the time to doing.
If you handwrite it, there's a higher chance that person will open the letter.
That's right.
You do a generic mailing with a printed label, it's not going to get opened.
Yeah.
It's just going to get ripped up, trash pile. But if you handwrite it,
that's right.
They're going to expect something more personalized, like you said.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to have a connection and follow up with a phone call. And if you have that picture to their phone, they're going to know you're calling.
That's right.
I challenge you or maybe the audience to do a test. Call from a random phone number, maybe borrow your spouse's phone or whoever's phone, and call them 5 times. See if they pick up. And if they don't...
Highland Finance, helping you prepare for life. IRS takes your money, stock market risks your money, and inflation reduces the buying power. At Highland Finance, we believe you should feel confident in your future. Our proven track record helps our clients prepare for life. Call 850-359-5989.
I'm epileptic. I'm going to end up seizing up and biting my tongue. Yeah. Dude, we'll get a couple likes from that. Look, the salesman's foaming at the mouth. He fell down.
Battery?
What's wrong? What timeout?
It's my new catchphrase.
Is that battery?
Hey everybody, Micah Henderson with Highland Finance. Time out. Don't forget to subscribe or whatever the hell they say.
There we go.
I was wondering who is. I thought Marcus was taking pictures of me with the flash or something. What is going on?
All right, we're good. Anywhere.
What were we talking about?
I don't remember.
So just talking about really standing out and building a relationship for a lifelong client instead of just being a transactional salesman. But a lot of what ends up happening is you make a friend, and that is what makes the bond that makes you referable.
Exactly.
And I've gotten so many more clients from referrals than from mailers. I can't believe how many letters, how many postcards, especially in the early years, that I would stay up all night. I'd put the kids to bed, put on a documentary, crack open a beer, and start signing or stamping and something.
Now you can put the kids to work and let them do that for you.
And I think that's actually a tax write-off. Like you can, like if your kid is like up to like 12 years old or something, you can give them like $1,000. Was it a year or a month? But yeah, put them to work.
Put them to work.
I'll stand over their shoulder. Hey, that stamp's crooked, boy. You're fired. I'll see you at dinner, but you're still fired. So that's a good topic. Taxes. Is there any bit of advice that you can give folks? I wasted a lot of money the first couple of years because I didn't know I was supposed to keep track of what or how. For someone in the sales biz, what are some best practices?
Be organized. Be organized and obviously track your mileage, track your expenses, track your returns on your investment. Know what's making a return for you. And then that way next year what's going to be profitable for you. Or
if it's a loss, you could also use that as well to not have to pay. Of course, you're going to pay what you're legally supposed to, but if you're not supposed to, make sure you're aware of that.
I want to go back to referrals when you mentioned, and I'll ask you this. How many people have you gotten sales or referrals for people that you didn't sell the product to?
Oh, that I didn't, that they're a referral source, but they're not a client myself.
No, someone that maybe the product you're presenting wasn't a great fit for them, and maybe another company was.
Yeah.
You did the right thing and the honest thing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Appreciate your time, but you're better off going with this company or this person. In the past, I've received referrals from the people I did work by.
I mean, because you're being authentic, you're being genuine, you're putting their interests first.
Exactly.
And a lot of times, if forcing that square peg into the round hole got you a couple $100, but you screwed somebody over for a period of time until they can correct it and cost them a lot of money, is that really worth it? You might not be in the right career field where you're able to mess someone up for a buck. But going back to working hard and doing right by people, you're going to get way more, including referrals. When that happens, think how quickly you're going to build the wrong relationship, wrong reputation in a community.
That's small.
That's small. That and with reviews and everything else, I'll read a lot of great reviews that I feel like, are these just like their family and friends saying something nice? But those bad reviews, man, I know they're real. And you hear, people who are satisfied are going to tell 2 people. People who are unsatisfied are going to tell 10. So you got to really guard your reputation like your life depends on it, because in a lot of ways it does. Your way of life, your quality of life that you're able to pay your bills does depend on it. So you got to guard that reputation and just do the right thing. It shouldn't be.
Well, it's not just do the right thing the first time.
Yeah.
And if you don't, I tell the agents, if you don't, someone's going to go behind you and do the right thing.
Right.
And now your reputation is ruined, and you're going to lose you'll get a charge back. You'll get the commission charge back, and you're going to lose the renewals, and it's just not worth it.
That's right.
Do the right thing the first time.
Yeah, it really is a waste of time to force it. As soon as you can recognize that you're not the right fit, hey, maybe even send them, have a referral partner that does offer that other product and say, hey, I think this might be a better direction for you to go. I can't do it myself. I'd love to make that introduction. And, you're doing a little damage control as far as you're not wasting any more of your time, but at the same time, you're building a relationship with the referral partner. And like you said, those people will appreciate you doing the right thing. And when it comes to that product, hey, call this person, see if it's the right fit.
Yeah, and in most industries, there's enough business for everyone.
Yeah, there really is. It's an abundance mindset.
There is. And, I'm probably one of the few people that friends with my competitors, but it's a good competition. It's a good thing. It's a friendly competition. And if I don't have a product that's a good fit for them, we'll do a cross referral, which is great. And at the end of the day, you're doing what's best for that client.
Yep.
So.
And that's how you keep your reputation right. So the only other thing that I wanted to add about the taxes is, yes, staying organized, but for the last couple of years, I'll get my receipts and I'll scan them. I'll scan them in and I'll store them in a folder in my computer instead of having a shoebox full of paper receipts and then saying, oh, it's April 1st. I better start, putting these in different piles. That way, it's just going to save you a whole bunch of heartache of if you do get audited. Here's another thing is that I do a lot of work from home, but I don't claim any part of, let's say my home office is, 15 by 15. I don't claim any of that. on my taxes that I've heard from many different sources that's the not a surefire way, but you're going to increase your odds of getting audited by doing that. So your mileage, definitely. There's apps for that now. For years, I would just carry a little notebook, and as soon as I started out my day, write the mileage, and then of course, write the date, write the start, and write the end mileage. But I use Mileage IQ. And as soon as I stopped, they'd say, was that personal or was that, professional? Was that for business? And swipe this way, swipe that way. And they'll send you a report, either for the month or for the year. And that's what I use for my taxes now. It just, definitely saves me a lot. I'm trying to think of some other, not high level concepts, but really narrowed in tools. Oh, I mean, going down this route, for certain companies, they still use fax, right?
Yeah.
They have, fax us in. The easiest way is to fax us in. I don't have a fax machine, but I use eFax, and it's like $50 for a year. It's really set up just like a email, but it comes across just like a fax. Yeah.
But there are still, especially in the Medicare industry, a lot of the providers
Offer that.
fax.
Yep.
And I have an eFax as well, so.
Yeah. And then here's one I just started using because my scanner/printer started really messing up on me. And if you don't have a scanner or a printer or a copier, it's having to reload. And that ever happened to you? As soon as you go, you're on the spot to make it happen. It's time to redo your password or something. But it's called Genius Scan, and it's just an app on your phone. But you're able to put it down on a table, hopefully darker the better, and take a picture of it, and it's scanned just like that. So
you should be able to email it and send it to whoever, upload it.
E-fax it.
Yeah.
But if you're ever in a pinch and you need to do something right away, that's the thing about working for yourself and being in sales. There's always curveballs, and you have to calm down, figure out a way around it, and adapt. If your Wi-Fi is out on your phone, maybe you're prepared and you brought a mobile hotspot. Maybe I hate to ask if I'm in the office. I do know my neighbor's Wi-Fi password. They gave it to me.
Okay.
Or if you're in a home saying, hey, do you have? But you always have to adapt, or you got a good chance of losing the sale. If you can close something, you hear ABC always be closing. If you can close it right then and there, close it right then and there. Don't keep on running your mouth. Don't set up a follow-up appointment. They're ready to buy right now. Here's the line. Sign on the line that is dotted, right? So don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. When it comes to sales.
It gives the prospect time to think about it, or they can talk to their neighbor. The neighbor's going to say, "Oh no, you need to go with this company."
Go see my brother-in-law.
Yes,
right.
yes.
Strike the hammer while the iron's hot and just get it done.
But you definitely want to be prepared for any type of technology failure.
Yep.
Save things to your desktop, to certain files. Have a paper copy version.
The paper app.
Paper application, whatever it may be, because you do not want to lose a sale because of not being prepared.
That's right. And then you get home, your printer doesn't work, you have Genius Scan, boom.
Yep.
So be able to adapt to any situation, and if someone's ready to go and buy right then and there, just hand them the pen, show them where to sign on the line, and make sure you've built that rapport. Make sure you follow up in the future, and don't be spammy. Be customized, because I think that's gonna it cost you a little bit of time, but it's also gonna get you a lot more in genuine sales and clients, and not transactional customers. So Alana, I really appreciate you coming out and sitting down with me. I've been trying to get you out here for a while, and you said when you can, you will, and you're a lady of your word. So I appreciate you coming out and giving us some gold nuggets to help you guys get your sales career off a little bit sooner. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you guys next episode. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of the Commission Mission. I hope you got a lot out of it. We need you guys to like, follow, subscribe, whatever that action is for the platform that you're watching it on, and please leave a review. That's a great way of giving us a compliment.
And if you're listening to this show and you're interested in working with a great team in either the financial industry or real estate, Mike and I have opportunities available for people to join our team. You can find us at livingthatcommissionlife.com and go to the Join Us tab.
Highland Finance, helping you prepare for life. The profit your business brings in should go to you, not accidents, injuries, and hurricanes. Do a policy review on your general liability and workers' comp today. Our proven track record helps our clients prepare for life. Call 850-359-5989. Highland